This is MTV, Nevis Television.
In our headlines for this evening, locally, 4 students awarded Alexander Hamilton scholarships and Nevis Youth Council to host first debate. The details are straight ahead. Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Tuesday, January 13th, 2015. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. The Nevis Island Administration's Information Technology Department is advising the general public of an emerging cybersecurity threat or the Microsoft tech support scam. The perpetrators of this attack pose as technical support personnel from Microsoft in an unsolicited phone call to victims. During this call, the victims are asked to initiate a remote support session during which the victims are advised of the need to acquire a new license and are asked to provide payment details in the form of credit or debit card information. The real purpose of the remote session is to allow the perpetrators to create a pre-Windows lock that prevents the user from being able to log into the computer. This type of attack is commonly referred to as phishing. Tips have been recommended to help persons prevent these types of attacks from occurring. Users are advised to be wary of unsolicited communications from persons purporting to represent a well-known entity or organization. Never accept requests or initiate remote sessions unless they are confident of the identity of and trust the remote party, and limit the amount and type of personal information that is shared online. This includes phone numbers, addresses, and other personal information that can be used to obtain your trust in a phishing scam. Persons are asked to contact the Information Technology Department if they have additional queries or concerns. According to a release from the Communications Unit of the Office of the Prime Minister, persons clearing Christmas packages ordered prior to December 31st, 2014 will still benefit from the duty-free allowance. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas has announced that there are persons who have not yet cleared their Christmas packages at customs, and the deadline in order to benefit from the special Christmas duty allowance was December 31st, 2014. However, all affected persons should note that said packages can still be cleared under the special Christmas policy as long as orders were placed prior to the December 31st deadline, the Prime Minister says. Fire officers in the Federation were awarded for their exemplary work on Friday, January 9th. The awards ceremony was a part of the week-long activities held by the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services in commemoration of 15 years since the organization's separation from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. The event saw close to 30 officers being awarded for their service. Those awarded for giving 15 years service to the organization were Fire Station Officers Abdias Samuel, Ronnie Frame, Timothy Martin, Davian Clark, Pablo Gums, Santos Keynes, Fire Officers Kurt Edwards, Dwayne Williams, Erickson Isaac, Kyle Burke, and Woman Fire Officer Fiona Halliday. Long service awards were presented to Woman Fire Substation Officer Mavis Archibald, Fire Station Officers Dwight Alexander, Lesroy St. Clair, Julian Pemberton, Kenneth Dorr, Vaughn Ward, Hugh Jennings, Cecil Grant, and Woman Fire Officers Lorna Claxton, Melsadius Jackson, Marcia Pope, and Francis Madeir. Special awards were presented to Fire Substation Officers Roman Rommel Williams, Elvis Isaac, Santos Keynes, Fire Officers Vaughn Ward, and Julio Williams. The Fireman of the Year award went to Fire Station Officer Timothy Martin, who said it is humbling that his peers see him as deserving of the accolade. Acting Fire Chief Everett Ogaro expressed his pleasure in honoring the officers, stating that hard work should always be commended. We'll have more local news after this short break.
We are the grade 3 students of the Jackson Primary School, and you are watching MTV. Yay!
Welcome back. 4 new students will this year begin to receive assistance with their secondary school education through the Alexander Hamilton Scholarship Fund. The fund awards deserving students with a $500 scholarship per annum to assist with uniforms, fees, books, and other school supplies for the duration of their secondary school career. The scholarship fund is sustained by members and supporters of the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society (NHCS) and past recipients of the scholarship, and is administered by the NHCS in partnership with the Department of Community Development, of which Janet Maloney is the director.
I will now introduce the new recipients of the Alexander Hamilton Scholarship, namely Linnea Truss, DeQuanja Williams, welcome, Vian Keynes, and Odell Griffin. Congratulations to all of you, and we hope that you will seek to maintain a high all-around performance and excellent behavior at all times.
Each year, the scholarships are presented at a tea party, which is held on the grounds of the Alexander Hamilton Museum to commemorate Hamilton's January 11th birth date. Nevisian-born Alexander Hamilton was, among other things, the first Secretary of the U.S. Treasury. In her remarks, Junior Minister of Social Development, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, explained what Hamilton's legacy should mean to the scholarship recipients.
Hamilton did not allow his humble circumstances into which he was born in Little Nevis to deter him from dreaming big, from working hard, and from accomplishing great things. You, therefore, can use Alexander's experience to inspire you to make a positive and progressive impact on your country and, by large, the world.
She encouraged the students to take advantage of the educational opportunities which abound.
You have an enabling environment, and like Alexander Hamilton, you have a Nevisian nationality and a sharp intellect. Nevis has a very high literacy rate, perhaps the highest in the region. I make this comparison with Hamilton, although I am cognizant of the fact that he himself was humble enough to claim that the genius for which he was credited came from hard work. And so, students, I am admonishing you to work hard. I am certain that there are some criteria within which you were selected as recipients, and so I'm admonishing you to continue to adhere to the criteria. Working hard, I am assuming, is paramount on that list.
Minister Brandy Williams also thanked Amber Trott and his family, who established the Alexander Hamilton Scholarship Fund in 1965, as well as the NHCS and the Department of Community Development for enhancing students' opportunities for educational success. Meanwhile, the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society has recommended Alexander Hamilton as a national hero, says Executive Director Evelyn Henville.
Alexander Hamilton grew up just here, a stone's throw away from the Charlestown slave market, just there beyond the next door to Lyme's office. That spread of land is a slave market where the ships came in here. They deposited the slaves there, and that's where the slaves were sold. He saw that. He was in the midst of all of it. he had to see the treatment that slaves received as they were taken from boats and sold in the market. He worked hard in his adult life to abolish slavery in the United States. He felt that if given the same opportunities as their owners, slaves were just as capable, and he felt we were all equal. He never subscribed to inequality. He was the one who first said blacks were just as capable as whites in the army. He focused on merit, and is the one to interject into the American Constitution his belief that all men are created equal. We've worked on it last year, and we're working again on it this year to recommend Alexander Hamilton as a national hero.
Hanville made the announcement as she referred to a debate which will be put on this weekend by the Nevis Youth Council. The moot, Alexander Hamilton should be made a national hero in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. The council's president, Dwayne Hendrickson, treasurer Tamika Vifus, and supporter Pearl Bergen recently spoke about the debate in an interview with the Social Development Outlook's Curtis Morton.
The plans for the Nevis Youth Council this year includes our first annual debate, which will be this Friday. We also have upcoming a musical clinic that we want to establish. And there's the youth expression through the arts this year. Again, it's an event that people actually waiting for. Because last year, the event that we held at NIPAC last year, the youth expression through the arts, was a big event, and thus people are looking forward to it.
Second speaker for the opposition, Pearl Bergen, encouraged persons to come out and witness the debate.
The mood is Sir Alexander Hamilton should be made a national hero in the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis. We're going to be looking at it from the angle of that we think that there are better persons in line, and show you why he does not even qualify for such a prestigious title and should not be even made mention of in the first place. So we are encouraging everybody to come out and see this debate.
The first speaker for the opposition will be former Nevis Junior Minister of Tourism, Cleticia Daniel. The proposition will consist of Vifus and Charlestown Secondary School student Kedjo Smithen.
The direction that we will be taking is looking at what makes someone a national hero. We'll be looking at who Alexander really is.
The Nevis Youth Council's debate will take place on Friday, January 16th at the Nevis Performing Arts Center at 8 p.m. The admission is $10. That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. Good night.